everyone, back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle's upcoming game this weekend against Luton Town at St James's Park. Massive game for Newcastle and for Luton as well, to be fair. That both teams will want to keep the momentum going from unbelievable midweek results, has to be said, that no one was expecting. So we're going to get stuck right into this, tell you how we think the lads are going to line up, talk a bit about the game as well, and tell you what we think the result's going to be. So just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, click subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. We've just gone over 6,500 subs. Thank you so much. We had a great chat with the lads from Toon Review the other day, who did a brilliant charity show. Go check that out if you haven't already. Raising great money for two brilliant charities in Parkinson's UK and Young Minds, and a few of you clicked that button for us too, so we appreciate the love there. Thank you so much, and thanks to the guys for hosting us as well. So yeah, let's get stuck into the lineup then. So this is how we think the lads are going to line up really. So obviously the big blow in the Villa game, the only negative really in the Villa game, was the injury to Alexander Isak. Now apparently he's going to be out from anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. No idea why the club hasn't signed a centre forward in the transfer window. There'll be a separate video on that because I'm not very pleased about that whole situation. But that means to me that Anthony Gordon is probably going to have to step into the centre forward berth. Now loads of people seem to be really happy about Gordon playing through the middle, and yes, he's dangerous, yes, he has pace and his movement's good and all that. His finishing isn't particularly clinical in that central berth. It's okay when he's cutting in from the wing and bending one in, you think, wow, look at that goal, because wingers aren't expected to really, do that too often these days. They're normally putting it across the face of the box for the striker to do it or whatnot. But when he's a centre forward, he's going to have to play a completely different game as well. And Luton, to be fair to them, they fight and work hard, and that back four want to rough you up as well. So this is not going to be an easy game for Anthony Gordon. Yes, his pace will be dangerous on the break, and he could cause Luton some trouble, and if he runs at them and commits them and gets one of them an early yellow card, they could be in big trouble. But he's not a centre forward, and I think we are running the gauntlet with this whole thing. I just hope that Isak isn't out too long and Wilson maybe is back on the bench for Luton possibly, and that will give us options if Gordon starts to struggle through the middle. But I think Miggy will go out to the left, which I think is a great idea. He looks much better on that side. That assist in the Villa game, Miggy looks a different player when he's on his preferred left foot, isn't he? And then Jacob Murphy, who was brilliant against Villa, on the right. The rest of the team pretty much picks itself. The back four will stay the same. No dropping the Dan Burn for me on this one, so I just don't think Eddie's going to do it. It's starting to settle back down. Obviously, Dubravka continues in the sticks, played well against Villa as well. And then that midfield three of Louis Miley, Longstaff and Bruno Guimaraes. I don't think Longstaff had a great game against Villa, if I'm honest with you. I think Louis looked good, but Sean looked... He was running a lot, but I just think the game passed him by a little bit. But there is no options there to change it. Everyone's getting very excited about signing young Harrison from City and everything else. But I'm not really buying that, to be honest with you. I think that lad will go straight to the reserves in the academy, and we won't even see him. If we see him on the bench, I'll be surprised. We've recalled Turner Cook, Joe White's on the bench, so we are threadbare in that midfield. And again, that's another position I think we should have strengthened in this January transfer window. FFP be damned. Surely there was loan deals we could have done to sort that out. But on the positive side, Newcastle are coming off the back of two good wins back to back against Fulham and against Villa. Obviously 3-1 was really convincing against high-flying Villa in fourth place. So we'll go into this game in a really good position in terms of confidence starting to grow, form starting to come back. But Luton Town, my God, 4-0 they battered Brighton, De Zerbi's Brighton midweek, with an Adebayo hat-trick, and they were sensational. And there's been times when you looked at Luton this season, especially when we played them as well, that do not look like cannon fodder for relegation. They have these moments where they really go at teams. I think Ross Barkley's been reborn in that midfield. He was brilliant against us down in Kenilworth Road. We didn't close him enough, we didn't get in his face enough, and the lads can't allow him to get on the ball and play, because he does have a good range of passing, does Barkley, and you have to get into him and get stuck into him. We need Bruno to basically take Barkley off of his game and make him go and foul Bruno and lose his head a little bit, rather than getting the ball, get his head up and start picking them passes out wide, because they do have willing runners, Luton, and they will be dangerous on the break, and they've had a great result against us last time, and off the back of that 4-0 against Brighton, they'll be coming in here 10 foot tall with their chests out. So we have to start this game fast and strong and hard, get the crowd behind us, get the roar behind us, and we'll have to really go at Luton. And if we do that in the first 10-15 minutes, we could go 1-0 up, and if that does happen, I think the game could be ours. But I think this is going to be a really tight game, I really do. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash. Some people say I'm going to bat them 4-5-0 and everything else. I don't see it. I just think with Luton starting to pick up form. I think 3 wins overall in terms of all our competitions in the last 3 games. More wins than we've got in all of our competitions. They're not going to go in here, limping, trying to sit back and play for a 0-0 draw. They will try and win the game. That might leave gaps in behind for the pace of Gordon and Miggy and Murphy to exploit, and I hope that is the case. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle United win. I think Luton are going to have enough to trouble us. I don't think it is going to be a whitewash. I think it'll be a tight game, but I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle United, and we'll keep this momentum going and keep this win and run going. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the lineup. Would you make any changes? How you feel the game is going to go? Are you confident we're going to smash Luton, or do you think, again, like me, a win is good, but it won't be prolific? It might just be an efficient win, 2-1, 3-1, whatever it may be. We always like to hear from you. Drop a comment in, and if you can, subscribe and like the channel too. We really appreciate it. It helps it grow. There is a member option there. All the content is free, but if you do want to give a bit back to the channel and help me and Mark bringing this great content, smash whichever one suits you best. Have a cracking day. However, lads, let's hope for 3 points on Saturday. See you later. Cheers.